What's the first time I've had that responsibility?
Okay, hi guys, Misty and Anthony here from Taste Winchester History, and we are joined by the lovely Victoria of Hideaway Cafe. So we are on the corner of Loudon and Cork, and someone has his coffee, so look out.
I needed it. I was a little run down this afternoon.
So, Miss Victoria. Okay, we have a ton of coffee shops downtown. So what was your thought process and why did you want to start another one? What sets you apart?
Well, we are definitely more than just a coffee house. And part of that is that we are the community's living room. So you can come in, you can hang out, you can enjoy coffee, teas, pastries, even sandwiches and salads if you like. But we also have a strong sort of programmatic component to what we do as well, in that we are the community's coffee house. So since we opened 3 years ago, we have donated almost $10,000 back to local charities in cash and in-kind donations during that time period. So we have supported everyone from Habitat for Humanity to the Adult Care Center to the Boys and Girls Club, or excuse me, the Kids Club now. So a wide range of causes that are important to our customers end up being important to us. So
that is awesome. Yeah, so you just finished a food drive.
We did. We raised about $3,000 worth of food, so 1,500 items.
We contributed.
Fifth year doing that.
I think that's great. A lot of the local businesses do that, but I think a lot of people focus on kind of Christmas time, and that stuff is needed year round. So I love that you do stuff kind of throughout the year.
It's an interest. It's for World Food Day. It's an international event focusing on hunger. And it's just before that holiday push, so we're stocking up pantries, you know, in advance of that competitiveness for your dollars, for your donation dollars.
Okay, so I am not a coffee drinker, which everyone knows, and I kind of
Excuse me, I'm out.
Victoria's leaving now, but they have
I drink enough for both of
good.
us.
Yes, yes, he does. But I think it's funny. So let's talk. If you remember your first sip of coffee.
I do remember. My family, coffee is very important to our identity as a family, I would say. So about 7 or 8 years old is when you get your cup, your very own cup. You get to go pick it out, and you have an after-dinner coffee with the family. We eat together with no distractions. Back then we didn't have cell phones, but if we had them today, they would have been taken away. No television, any of that. And we were able to have a cup with the adults and talk about world events or what's going on at school or what's going on with the kids and everything else, and really bond together as family over that cup of coffee. Now, of course, at 7 or 8, a lot more cream and sugar than natural coffee.
And was it a big giant stein of coffee, or was it something more child appropriate?
It was definitely child appropriate, but I will carry on that tradition with my daughter very soon here.
I was gonna say, so a couple more years, and she'll be
faster approaching.
Yeah.
She's turning
You'll blink
6
and
next
she'll be
week,
here.
so.
Yeah, that's coming fast. But I think that's cool. You kind of seem like an old soul as well, and I think that kind of imparts it. Your family, you know, speaking as adults and talking about things going on in the world and all of that, that kind of comes out in your personality.
It was great to be able to, you know, have that fellowship over that cup, and we've translated that into what our business looks like.
I was
here.
actually going to just, you probably heard me smacking your ear. I was just about to jump in. You get that feeling when you're in here, the comfort of the chairs and the fellowship. You can look around even behind the camera today and see a lot of people.
You can totally see right now. There's little groups. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's set up for that, and that is like when I tell people. We start our food tours here, first of all, every week, every Saturday at 2 p.m. And that was one of the reasons was we encourage people to come in beforehand, grab a drink, and just sit and relax. And it is, everything's set up into little areas, so you can really have a conversation.
Yes, exactly. And you can study here, you can meet friends here, we have board games, you can play board games. I mean, it's whatever type of experience you want to curate for yourself and for your people that you're bringing here. It's your place, you know, barring anything the fire marshal won't let me do. You can pretty much, you know, use it as you will. So.
Okay, so tomorrow is Halloween. Are you dressing up?
I'm thinking about it. I do. I have
Non-committal.
not yes. I do have quite a few costumes in the closet. It's one of my favorite holidays.
Okay.
That's my favorite as well.
I love it.
He never dresses up though.
It's been a while, but it still doesn't make it any less my favorite.
That's right. That's right. So
I'm not a big Halloween fan, but I did dress up for this year. We have a big neighborhood party, like 200 people, and I had to wash my hair. I'm on a very strict hair washing schedule, and so I had to wear a turban.
Nice.
So that made my outfit.
nice.
Made it much easier. You just
It was,
get a
I
shower
literally
and
had
go
my
to the party.
I had a muumuu on and a turban. So
If I do dress up, I am almost always a pirate.
a pirate there.
Almost always.
Can't go wrong with the pirate.
No, it's a classic.
It is a classic.
Yeah.
I went to East Carolina University, so we're pirates. I'm always
Oh,
pirates.
that's perfect.
I was a musketeer one year. That's kind of a joke, I guess.
I wanted to ask where you came from. I mean, what brought you to Winchester? Where'd you come from? What brought you to Winchester?
So North Carolina originally, a very, very tiny, sort of depressed economically town in North Carolina, and I was the first person to go to college in my family, put myself through school, and really sort of struggled my way to being a business owner. And this is my second business. I've been self-employed for 11 years. So what brought me to Winchester was just, this place is great. I mean, I moved here even before our downtown was booming. The community that you get to experience here and still have the amenities of a larger town
Yes.
is really pretty impressive.
Completely agree with you.
So
Yeah.
it is definitely a place that I want to live in, from here on out. There's no thoughts of me going anywhere else, because especially with what has happened, sort of this renaissance that we have down here, that your guests get to experience
Yes.
when you come on tour, is really pretty special. It's something special.
It really is, yeah, and I love that we're able to have you and all the other owners talk to the guests on the tour, and that really makes Winchester special. I mean, it's not these big businesses where you don't know everyone. The owners are working. You are making the coffee. You are making meals. You're serving everyone and talking to them and really getting to know them, and that is so special.
If we're open, I'm pretty much here.
Right.
And sometimes it's a little tricky at 2 o'clock on a Saturday, but I always make it a point to come out and say, hello, this is me. I hope you enjoy everything. And now there's 45 people lined up at the door for a cappuccino. So,
Yeah,
you
we're
do-
trying to make it 90, so.
you do the best that you can.
Yeah, you are fabulous. So one of the things that touched me, we're friends now on Facebook, and you posted I think it was a meme, I forget if it was a meme or something you wrote, but essentially, all of us sit there and we kind of have our failures run through our head, and we always think that no one else does that. So I was like, yeah, hello, same. So as a business owner and a woman and a mother, what is your advice to people to kind of get past those things when they come up in your head?
Well, that is tough, because you're absolutely right. We're so critical of ourselves, and that's part of what I love about this business, is that people come in here and talk to us about whatever's going on in their lives. It's almost like being a bartender, really. And
Therapist.
It is,
Yeah.
and you get to know your customers, and you find out about what's going on in their lives and why they're here, and that's really a beautiful thing. And I tell them, whatever it is, I will tell them that you need to forgive yourself for whatever that thing is that brought you to a coffee shop at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday.
Right.
There's something that is usually going on for those type of guests. The bar area is always a place where people come to just chat and talk about that stuff. So, first and foremost is to forgive yourself, whatever it is.
Really
All
good
of us
advice.
make tons and tons of mistakes. If you own a business, you definitely make mistakes. If you're a mother or father or you have a child, you almost assuredly
make mistakes.
beat yourself up a lot, because that's the hardest job you'll ever do. But on the flip side, it's going to sound silly, but it really is true to let those people that are hating on you, let your haters be your motivators. If someone says you can't do something, or you shouldn't be doing something, or you're not doing it well, then you just try to do it better and just hustle harder the next day.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, and I think listening to other people and serving other people helps too, because you realize you're not the only one.
You're not. That's very true. And
Yeah.
whenever I feel like I have, maybe we got a bad review on Facebook, whatever. Well, we don't have any bad reviews, but Yelp, you know.
Oh yeah. Or professional bad reviewers.
Professional bad reviewers. You know, you have to look at all the people that are happy and all the people that you're serving and all the good they are doing. I mean, when I reflect on that $10,000, you know, helping someone in our community get to buy a service dog and helping a house be built for Habitat for Humanity. I mean, that's really impressive, and it's really special work that we're able to do just with, you know, $2.50 cups of coffee is
Right.
Or
a
several
small business.
$2.50
or
cups of
several
coffee.
for some folks. So it's pretty meaningful to me to be in this line of work, and we have so many experiences with guests and customers that prove to me that this space and what we've designed here is needed in this town.
Yeah, it's very welcoming to everybody, and I know you have specifically tried to do that, and so it's fabulous. We have friends that come in and they're like, you know, I know anyone can come in here and be comfortable and welcome and just live their life, and that is what everyone is entitled to, so it's fabulous that we have a spot.
With really good coffee.
With
Like we have,
chai.
you know, coffee, chai, tea, everything we serve is of the highest quality. You know, our roaster won a Good Food Award last year and won America's Best Espresso competition 3 years ago. You know, so we serve the highest quality product, and we're very meticulous in its preparation.
Yes.
It's not just about what you source.
I was going to say, well, that brings me up to this point, is that there's a lot of brag points that can be undertaken here. So I wanted to ask you about some of the awards that you guys have received recently.
Well, we just this year were voted the best coffee house by the Northern Virginia Daily in the Readers Poll. So the readers, the guests, voted us for that. We were nominated for the best independently owned small business last year and made it to the top 10. That's a national award.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
So we just missed it by like a couple hundred votes. But that was a $10,000 award. So maybe this year. Last year we also were voted best new business in that same Northern Virginia Daily poll, and for Virginia Living magazine we were voted the best coffee house our very first year open, and that is an award that covers West Virginia all the way down to North Carolina, so it's very large region, and then it was for the western regions of the state. So we worked really hard to build something that we think is pretty special, and to maintain it as well.
So you've changed locations. So how did you come up with the Hideaway Cafe name?
Originally, the Hideaway was in a undesirable location in the basement of the old post office, and I see opportunity everywhere. So when I saw that spot, even though it was kind of a subterranean, you have to know it's there, I felt that our mission would still bring people there, and it did. And we were very successful, and all of those awards, except for the best coffee house in the Northern Virginia Daily poll, happened at the old location, in that subterranean location. So it's pretty incredible that we were able to do that there. And then we moved, when this spot became available, the building owners actually solicited us and asked if we wanted to move to this corner. And, you know, once I came and sort of, the business owner and me sat outside for 2 hours and watched the number of cars that come by and the number of people that walk down, and I said, you know, this is definitely a good spot.
Yeah, it's a game changer, but the fact that you were able to build such a following in such a hidden location is pretty incredible.
I always liked the hidden location because it created a sort of a niche environment. It was like your secret place to go. And
you had to know about it. Secret.
Right, and what I found interesting about it is that it took off from there. So now we have the traffic, we have the visibility. We're not quite as well hidden away, but you know, the moniker followed, and the place really looks fantastic.
Yeah, so did you have some help in this design? Because I love all the little things in here. The coffee wall is awesome.
Other than the people who work here, we did it entirely ourselves. You know, when I came into the space, it was a raw space. The bar wasn't here. The walls were white. There wasn't, you know, we had to knock out a wall to create some traffic flow. So there was a lot of things that we had to do in order to open up. And I just sat in this space with Pinterest for a little bit and, you know, kind of discovered some color palettes that I liked, and then really took painter's tape, attached it to the floor to figure out where the bar was going to live,
Right.
and walked it, you know, and kind of thought about the service and the customer flow, and that's how it came about.
It's perfect.
It really is. Yeah.
It was an interesting concept. The other thing that I think makes us different and unique is that if you're familiar, your viewers are familiar with theater in the round, where the theater happens in the middle and the audience sits on the outside, we're doing coffee in the round. Because the coffee is in the middle. You can watch me make your coffee and make your espresso, and people really love that, because most of the time you don't get to see what the barista is doing. You don't get to see how the magic happens to make the mocha or the cappuccino, and we can actually show them and teach them how that coffee is made. I think that's really neat.
And we would show you, but we would prefer that you actually come down and take a look and see for yourself, because it's really interesting. You got the bar down on the far end, but even if you're sitting up here where the tables are arranged, you're looking down over the workspace, and it's an interesting perspective.
It really gets what's unique is when you're sitting up here, it feels like you're separated, and you can do your work and you can, you know, hammer out whatever you need to do on your laptop. But at the same time, you're very connected to with the person that's serving you. So you can easily just turn and say, you know, I need a refill on this, or I need another cup of whatever, I need a chicken salad rosani, whatever it is. You know, you're right there, and I think that's pretty unique.
It is, yeah, the setup is absolutely perfect, and having been in the space before when I was an antique shop, it's interesting to see the change. Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, okay, so guys, first of all, come by yourself. Also, comment, tag a friend, and you'll be entered to get a gift certificate, so you can bring them and have coffee together and experience it. So again, we are on the corner of Loudon and Cork at Hideaway Cafe, and I just want to thank you, Miss Victoria. It was awesome getting to know you a little bit more.
Well, I think what you guys do is really special, and if you're watching and you haven't taken this tour, you're really missing out. It's very unique.
A lot of fun.
It really is, and I meant to open this whole interview with thanking you for being the first person to believe in me as a food tour. I walked in and said, this is what we want to do. She's like, I love it. We're on board. Whatever you're doing, let's go. Yep. So
very encouraging.
Yes, and she's part of a lot of networking groups as well. So if you are, you know, another business owner or thinking about opening a business in Winchester, all the owners are fabulous and helpful and walk you through any questions or anything like that. It's just such a supportive community. It really is amazing. And I would stay here forever if we didn't get snow. So that's my only problem with Winchester.
But I'll tell you that the next few days are supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, and it's a perfect time to come down here and visit anytime during their hours.
Yes. And one final question. You have applied for your beer license again?
We are getting our beer and wine license. We had it at the old location. When you move somewhere new, the Virginia ABC wants, you know, $1,000 more and 2 more months. So whatever it is, so we will be getting that, because I make an incredible, I make some really great champagne beverages with our syrups that we use for our coffee, and my assistant general manager makes an incredible coffee martini that is a martini made with coffee.
It's going to be here every day.
Yeah, it's like I need to be here more often.
Yeah, we'll never be a bar that happens to serve coffee. We'll always be a coffee house that serves beverages that complement the core of our business. But we think that's really pretty unique and special. And you'll be able to come down after dinner and have wine and a tapa, and, you know, just enjoy whatever. And I think that's going to be a game changer for us as well.
That is going to be great. And of course, we hope to have you on the beer tour once we start.
Absolutely.
We're waiting for the license to go.
Yes.
Websites, pages, everybody?
Website?
It is hideawaycafeva.com. There's a Hideaway Cafe in Florida. It's not us, and they got the URL before we did. So.
Well, we'll take the Hideaway Cafe VA.
Yeah, Hideaway Cafe VA, and we're very active on Facebook and Instagram. Just follow us there as well. So.
Awesome, guys. Well, we will see you next Tuesday.
Nice to meet you.
Have an awesome day.
Right.
The button.